Hey everybody, Marcus here. My fellow MGTOW, I believe that for the first time in MGTOW history, we have encountered an anti-MGTOW video that truly rises above the rest. Now, this is a video by a woman who, I believe, understands the intricacies of our philosophy and, as you will soon discover yourselves, clearly spent inordinate amounts of time not only researching MGTOW, but has managed to compose a normative roadmap for MGTOW. In light of this, I could not hold myself back. I just had to respond and expound upon her insights. Who else but a woman could such insights even come from? I mean, I have been shaken to the core by her video. No longer I remain certain if I can continue to side with Kant in believing that a woman engaging with philosophy is like seeing a dog trying to stand on its hind legs and play the violin. Is this what Socrates experienced when he recounts of the lessons on love he learned from Diotima? Well, her video is truly original. But let us not waste any more time and let us listen to this muse of muses herself.
I'm going to read it as you're talking shit about the women you used to deal with back in the day, and then you got sick and tired of that shit, and now yes, I'm cussing, and now you're on the MGTOW movement, which is totally understandable. But just note that not all of us women are out here being stupid feminists. Okay, I did a video, actually a two-part video on feminism and why it sucks. Okay, there are those of us women out there, and I'm 38 years old, mind you. There are those of us women out there who are very educated, not trashy, not slutty, and have a good head on our shoulders and know what's up and have sense. Okay, so the women that you used to deal with, that you claim play you a lot, okay, you were dealing with women on a lower vibrational level. They didn't vibrate higher than what they were on, whatever the hell they were on. Okay, that's the type of women that you were dealing with. You were dealing with women on a low vibrational level, women who are not spiritually inclined. Okay, you aren't dealing with women like us who vibrate on a higher level. See, when you deal with women who vibrate on a higher level, you're good to go. It's when you deal with women who vibrate on a lower level, okay, they're poor excuses for existing because they didn't get their shit together. This is what feminism is about. Okay? These feminists out here, they're vibrating on a low vibrational level.
Men, I don't know how in all of these years and with all our collective experience and wisdom, we, in MGTOW, have never seen the truth of the matter. It may not seem obvious at first, as such revelation oftentimes comes masked in symbolism to keep the unworthy from learning the truth. However, I believe that if we spend enough time conducting exegetical analysis on this revealed truth, that we will be red-pilled all over again. So, let us get started. At first, I was confused as to what vibrations our sage was referring to, but the answer is obvious. Now, it is not a controversial statement to say that men are attracted to youth and beauty, but both youth and beauty are perceived through the sensual experience of the eyes. And what do the eyes perceive at a most basic level? Well, the eyes perceive light, which we interpret as colors. With this insight in hand, it must be the case that the vibrations our sage speaks of must be the vibrations of light. What you see now is the human visible light spectrum. Our sage said that feminists are on a low vibrational level. And who could be the most famous feminist of our time other than Big Red? Big Red perfectly fits on the lowest spectrum of humanly visible light, so let us position her appropriately. But we cannot stop here. There are also green-haired feminists, and let us not forget Lacey Green herself. So let us put those feminists on the spectrum. Also, we must not forget the blue and violet-haired feminist cohorts either. Let us put them on the spectrum too. Here, however, we encounter a problem. You see, Feminists, according to our sage, are all vibrating on a low vibrational level, and we, as MGTOW, need to look for women that have a high vibrational level. But when we add the red haired, green haired, blue, and violet haired feminists to our chart, we run out of visible light spectrum. It seems that feminists can live on the highest vibrational levels we can see. This, gentlemen, is when the penny dropped. The reason why MGTOW believe that NAWALTs do not exist is not because they do not ontologically obtain, but because they are invisible. Here, we've been like fools looking for visible NAWALs when it is clear that NAWALs are women on a higher vibrational level than light visible to human eyes.
I mean, you have this anger toward the low vibrational women you used to deal with. Don't take it out on all of us. It's not our fault. Okay? So just know that, there are those of us women out like me out there that do have sense. Okay? That don't vibrate on a low level like that. You used to deal with women that vibrated on a lower level of shittiness. And that's why you're mad.
Did you catch that, gentlemen? Now, I know the clip I just played was only 30 seconds, but something very important happened in it. You see, I suspect that most, if not all of you, watched the clip thinking that you were listening to a woman speak over a red background with the text, the main problem with MGTOW. But you see, that is not at all what happened. This is not a video with a voiceover. The woman speaking is in the video itself. She is just on a high vibrational level, and that is why we cannot see her. She's one of those invisible NAWALs. I mean, after all, she said so herself and showed us the proof. I mean, how can we deny our own eyes? Clearly, we cannot see her in the video, and therefore, she must be on that high vibrational level she says she is on. If this was not sufficient proof of NAWAL, then you, my friend, are denying something you have seen with your own damn eyes. Now, seeing the proof that I cannot see the NAWAL convinced me thoroughly of their existence. And I gotta tell you, if you were like me, then this overwhelming evidence has triggered an urge to go find a NAWAL for yourself. But if you are like me in this way, then we share a common problem. If we cannot see the NAWAL, how are we to find the NAWAL? The answer is simple, my fellow MGTOW. Bees. Bees are the greatest secret ever kept from men. Bees can see NAWALs. And this makes perfect sense. Bees land on flowers. And what do we say about women?
Listen, does your wife ever eat or anything?
Oh, don't worry about her. She a very delicate little flower. She don't need to eat much.
Bees lead you to honey. And are not NAWALs supposed to be sweet? All this time, I thought that when you see a bee just hovering in the air, it was in fact hovering. But how wrong we have all been. That bee is in reality sitting on a NAWAL. This also throws something else into question. We all know the famous quote by Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Now I think he was grossly misquoted. What he really said was, float like a butterfly, see like a bee. I mean, the man was married for 30 years and died married. He clearly found a NAWAL. Does anyone know what Muhammad Ali's wife actually looks like? Well, no. Everyone remembers only what he looks like. Muhammad Ali secretly tried to convey the secret of NAWAL to us, and not some silly boxing advice, but we were too wrapped up in his career to realize it. Though human vision is restricted from red to violet, bees have the ability to see ultraviolet colors, and therefore, in theory, should be able to see the NAWALs. With this realization, I immediately began thinking of how one would go about constructing a bee detector. Now, this ought not be understood as a contraption that detects bees, but one that is composed of bees. Now, I'm no expert on bees, but I can tell from my preliminary research that other men have stumbled upon the solution. Bee beards or full and partial bee bodysuits. That is the answer. The men we see in these pictures know exactly what they are doing. Much like MGTOW appear the fools to society at large now, so too, these men donning beads appeared the fools before our sage revealed the truth of NAWAL to us. And if you have any doubts as to the effectiveness of donning beads and finding a NAWALT, well, then just look at the next few pictures. Here we have a man walking hand in hand with his NAWALT. And here we have a man clearly grabbing the breasts of his NAWALT. Now, this man's NAWALT seems particularly tall, so she is probably a Scandinavian NAWALT. And in this touching picture, we have a father holding and gazing into the eyes of his infant NAWALT daughter. With this breadth of evidence as to the existence of NAWALT, what more is there left to say? However, I do realize that there may still be skeptics among you. So, let me offer to you a variation of Pascal's wager. If high vibrational women are NAWALTs, and you find one, then you will have all those happy blue pill fantasies manifest in your life. However, if these high vibrational women turn out to not be NAWALTs, then you lose nothing. Now, you might be saying to yourself, but Marcus, if the high vibrational woman turns out not to be a NAWALT, then she will screw me over just like any other low vibrational predatory woman. This not need be the case though. A high vibrational woman is a woman. All women have periods. Therefore, all high vibrational women have periods. But what does this mean? This means
if it bleeds, we can kill it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah, now take a stand.
Here now, take a stand.
We can bring down this beast.
We can bring down this beast.
If we stick to the plan. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
And that's the secret. If it bleeds, we can kill it. And since high vibrational women are invisible, there will be no body to find. So, let us rejoice, my fellow MGTOW, as to this most joyous of occasions. Thanks for listening. Go team, and let us thank our sage for enlightening us silly MGTOW.
So my advice to you, or, I'm not giving you advice, but I'm just asking you, or not even asking you, I'm telling you, you shouldn't be talking shit about women as a whole, because not all of us vibrate on a low vibrational level like that. You dealt with women who were shitty, that vibrated on a low vibrational level. You did not find women who vibrated higher, that are spiritually aware and that know what's up. And that's the problem. That's the reason why you're a MGTOW. All right. So don't take it out on all of us. Not all of us are bad.